it's Jilly from Jilly's Creative Corner. So today we're going to be making this box here. It was from Sam at Pootles. Probably, I think it was in 2016 I first saw it, and I actually did a class, face-to-face class, when we were allowed to have people come to classes. This is exactly how Sam made it. It's a no glue, no cut box, so it's all done with folds, and it's actually quite big. It's 2 inches along the bottom, inch along the top, and it all folds out like so. I'm going to make it slightly, or decorate it slightly different from Sam. But it was her idea, but it is a great little box. So that's the project today. I'm doing the introductions as in my face because my friend did say to me that it might be nicer to see who the hands belong to. So here's the hands, here's the face, but for me, more importantly, it's about, if you've got a coloured paper, so Stampin' Up do cardstock, and that they then match an ink to, pens to, so you've got the whole combination going on. So sometimes you'll have a paper, a cardstock, and you don't have any pattern paper to match it. So I'm going to actually show you how you can just make your own out of basic white cardstock and ink, and then cut it up as you need it. So that's what the project's about today. So we'll be making this box, but also showing you how to make your own pattern paper, I suppose. So let's get started, and I'll just turn the camera around. So today, as I said, we are going to be making this box, but we're also going to be making our own pattern paper. I'm just going to explain a little bit about Stampin' Up and how they work. They have colour families. So this is the catalogue we're using at the moment. Our new catalogue comes out in June. So these are the families. So they have brights, neutrals, regals, subtles, basic colours, which is black, very vanilla, basic white, and then they have in colours. So the in colours last for 2 years, and then they leave, and a set of 5 new in colours come. So this year until 2000, these ones came in last year, 2020 to 2022. These ones will be leaving us this year, and we've got some lovely new ones coming in June. So what I was saying was that each one of these colours, has a matching, you have A4 cardstock, a pack of, you have a ink pad, you have a refill for the ink pad, and you have blends. So these are the ink refills. This is just the one I've got to hand at the moment. So this one here is just jade. We're not actually using this one. This is just an example for you. So it comes in, you get the cardstock, you get the ink pad, you get the ink refill. So that refills your ink pad. So when it starts to dry out a bit, you add more ink to it. And it also, you get a pen. This is a marker pen. It's like a felt tip pen, but it completely matches all your colours. You also get, which I haven't got with me at the moment, but you also get a blender pen, which looks like these. This is not the right colour, obviously, that has a brush one end and more of a thinner, finer brush the other. We actually have in just jade, yeah, we do have, so you get a light colour and a dark colour, so all that matches the cardstock, so you haven't got to try hard to think, oh, which colour shall I go with then, so they've done it for you. And then we have, so here's the marker pens. They also do watercolour pencils that match some of the colours. So then they also do pattern paper, which will match some of the colours, but sometimes, you know, we've got so many different colours. Sometimes, you know, you're going to pick up a colour and you go, oh, I haven't got anything which I'm going to use today. This is Cudgeon Craze from the Regals family, and I don't have a pattern paper that will match that. So I'm going to make my own. And this is where we're going to show you today on how to quickly make this box, which is very easy box, and then how to make your own paper. As I said in the first part of the video, I'm only going to do this one, and this one. I'm not putting these in. I'm not sure I like them in there. It's not what I like. I've just done this exactly how Sam did it, but she obviously did hers with DSP, a designer series paper. I've done this making my own. I will give you the measurements that Sam did for these, you know, these two ends here, but I won't be decorating it like that. Okay, so you need a piece of coloured cardstock which measures 11 inches by 8 inches. And then you need a piece of basic white. Now, what I've done is I've measured that I need this to be 6 3/4. So I've cut a piece of basic white, 6 3/4 wide, and then it can be any length because you're just going to make your own DSP, and you can use it on another project. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to bring in my scoring board. So on the long side, and because it's cardstock and not pattern paper, so it's thicker, I'm going to use the smaller end, and you're going to score on the long side at 2 inches. And that's 9 inches. So that's 2 inches and 9 inches. Then turn it to the short side. And you're going to score it at 1 inch. Three inches. 5 inches. And 7 inches. So you've basically got 1 inch in there. That's 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches and 1 inch at the end. So each end is 1 inch, which is this bit of the box there. If you just pop your scoreboard away, but you still need your scoring blade, and you need a ruler. So you're going to come from this corner here up to this corner here. corner here to this corner here. And you're going to turn it round to the other end. And you're going to do exactly the same. So this corner here. And the same here. So if you get confused, like I did when I first started doing these, if you get confused as to which angle you're going for, you're going from this 1 inch end, that corner, across to there. So that middle piece there is completely clear. So you're going from the 1 inch corner down, the 1 inch corner down, and the 1 inch corner down. Okay, so now you're going to burnish all the straight score lines first. Now you're going to, on these ones, you're going to just fold them in. Fold them in like so. And burnish them down. And then back the other way, because you need them to be really flexible. And you need to do that on all these diagonal score lines. So you fold them in first. So this is up, this is down. And you go into the corner and flatten it down. So it's like that. So it's like that. And then just to make sure it's very bendable, do it back the other way. Makes it very flexible then. Okay, so that's like that now. You've got to do the same the other side. And the last one. And back the other way. So now with those folds, fold it in, fold it in, fold it in, fold it in, bring it up, bring it up, and there's your box. And that's not meant to happen. treasure box. Okay, so now we are going to decorate it and bring in your piece of basic white, and I am going to be using Timeless Tropical, and they have coordinating dies in the Tropics dies, and both these the dies and the stamp set is going into next year's catalogue, which comes out at the end of June. Okay, so correct my mistake. It comes out at the beginning of May, the new catalogue. So if anybody would like the new catalogue, drop me an email and I can certainly post one out for you. So although this is available now, it's also going into the next catalogue on starting the 4th of May. That's not long, is it, guys? Right, so I'm going to be using this big flower here, this leaf here, and this hello. So I just pop them on some blocks. So now I'm ready to start. I've got my piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm going to be using, so this paper is Cajun Craze, and it's from the Regals. So this is Cajun Craze ink from the Regals. This is Garden Green, again from the Regals, and this is Rich Raspberry, again, all from the Regals family. So I know that they will all blend nicely together. That's what I mean when I say Stampin' Up takes the hard work out of it all for you, because they put them in the families that all work together. Right, so first of all I'm going to come in with Cajun Craze, and I'm going to do the big flower. So I'll just pop that to one side. So you can stamp off the page, and I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it so if you've got, like for instance, I'm going to put the hello on there. So if you know that when you're going to cut your paper to fit, you don't really want it, the flowers facing downhill, or not all downhill anyway. You can randomly have some on a slant, so you know that it's going to be cut this way and used this way. So I'm going to start stamping it this way, so that when I come to cut it, the flowers and the words will be facing the right way. I hope that actually makes sense. I know what I'm trying to say. So just randomly, it can go off the page. There. So that's my big flowers. And then what I'm going to do with my leaves, okay, with the Garden Green. So I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp it, but then stamp it so it's a different tone. So I've got the full tone, and I'm filling all the gaps in with my leaves. So I'm going So even if you've got a very pale bit, just fill it in. And when it's this pale, it can go over the top of the flowers a little bit as well. Just start that off. I don't want to. It just fills in the colour, so you haven't got stark white anywhere. So I'm just going to pop that to one side. Come in with my little hello. And I do exactly the same with this. So this is rich raspberry, and I'm going to come in with hello and just randomly put it all over. And it doesn't matter if it goes onto a flower. Let me see. I think that looks okay to me. Maybe put a little bit up there. So I think pretty much covered that whole area. So now all you need to do is come in and cut it down to the size that you need it. So you know that you want I'm just going to tell you the measurements now. So for the front here, you want 1 3/4, and you've already got your cardstock. You've already got your basic white at 6 3/4, which is what you need it lengthways. So you want to cut now. Turn this into your trimmer on the long side, and you want to cut it. You want 2 1 3/4, so 1 for that side, 1 for that side, and you need 1 that's 3/4 of an inch for there. So I will cut 1 3/4 once, and then I'm going to cut a 3/4 piece. So then that is going to go on the front, like so, and that piece there that was on there is going to go on there, and then this piece here is another 1 3/4, and this one will go on the back there. And so I see there I've got a lot of hellos on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring in the rich raspberry, because this is, when you've made your own, you can change. I'm going to put a hello there. So you've got a lot of hellos down that end and not much down this end. So by evening it up, I've put a hello there, a little faded one there. It's just taken it away, so you've got it on the back there. So now I know that this one's going on here. And that one's going there. that one there. And because this is going to be the other side, you are actually going to turn that round, simply because the hellos will be the wrong way round. So you just get your liquid glue, or whichever glue is your favourite. Your watch band's not going to wet now. Oh yes it is. Not too close to the edge because you don't want it squidging. Ooh, squidging out. Then you want your border. So you just make sure before you stick this one down that you've got it in the right. Yeah, you have. I mean, it's not the end of the world if hello is upside down, but probably nice not to be if it's the front piece. The back piece, you don't need to worry too much. But the front piece I wouldn't suggest. Just pop that back together to make sure that we're yep. And then you just decide, look, so when this one goes on, because you've got words, it's always tricky when you've got words. So when it goes in like so, it's better. You can't see that join really, so it's better to have it that the words are up the right way as opposed to upside down. But it did join there, but it's fine to have it like that. It's better to have the words up the right way. Okay, so let's just pop that one on. I nearly put those words upside down then. Come on, Jilly. Don't mess it up now. You open it out and press it down. Now, what Sam did was she put extra pieces there, and those measured, you want 2 of those, and they measured 3/4 of an inch by 1 3/4 of an inch, so you want 2. So you want one that goes there and one that goes there, which is those there. And then for these here, so you'd flip that over and you'd pop those in there, that square in the middle, and that is 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and you need 2 of them, one each end, and that is to go in there. So if I open this one out, you'll see where it's meant to go. So that's where it goes in there. So that's the inside of the box, but when you put it all together, it's the bit that sticks out. It's the bits you see, but I'm actually not going to do that on mine this time. I think I prefer mine to I just like the fact that it's actually all that is one colour, the sides and everything, and that, and then the middle is decorated. So that's what I'm going to do with mine. I'm also going to do with mine, because I don't know what you're going to be putting in your box. I guess if it was lightweight sweets or something like that, it would stay all together. But I have found, you know, I could get to give a gift to my new team members. This would be a fab box. It's very quick and easy to make, and it would actually hold. So these blender pens come in two colours. So you get, just make sure I got the right ones here. Yeah. Okay, so 4 of those. If you put 2 in there, you could get those in there. So as a gift, you could get those in there. They're completely stuck in there. But I think that, well, that's just proven me wrong now. But I just feel like it might be a bit, yeah, it might ping because they're loose in there. So what I'm going to do is, you can see how roomy it is. If that gets 2, 4, 6 of the blendy pens, and they are 6 1/4 long, and about just over ½ an inch wide. So that's, you know, you're getting quite a lot of product and a lot of gift in there. So what I did was, so what I decided to do with mine is I'm going to do this happy birthday. So this is the double oval punch. One's got a beautiful frilly edge, crinkle edge, whatever you'd like to call it, and one's got a plain edge. So I'm going to punch out that one in the same cardstock colour, Cajun Craze. Cut out one of those. And I'm going to bring in the peaceful moments and the happy birthday. Bring in the Cajun Craze ink. Don't be tempted to put it too close to the edge, because you need to get your oval right the way round. So pop it up to, not right in the middle because that's a waste, but probably about ½ an inch or so off the bottom. And instead of wasting that one, so if you come in with if ever you've got a scrap of paper this big, come in with a post-it note. Stick a post-it note on the end so you've got something to hold on to. Bring in your punch and then line up your happy birthday. You've still got a bit more sticky on there, so you can use that another day. And just with my liquid glue, I'll stick this onto the middle of there. My liquid glue is behaving today. Usually it refuses. I get halfway through the video and it refuses to come out. Okay, then I am going to get some dimensionals. I'm going to stick one that side and one that side. I'm leaving that gap in the middle on purpose. I'm going to bring in my box, take off the backing. Put this, I always eyeball it. That's about in the middle. So I'm going to bring in some ribbon, and again it's from the same family as the other colours, and it's called Blackberry Bliss, and it's still on. You can still buy this till the end of June. It's beautiful sheer, they call it stripped ribbon, but it's, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see it better like that. It's absolutely beautiful ribbon, and it's part of the same family, so you can just introduce this colour. It's next to the Rich Razzleberry. I don't have Rich Razzleberry ribbon. We don't have any at the moment, but because this is the same family, then I'm going to use this, and it looks absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that up. So where I left that gap, I put a dimensional there and one there. I've left a gap in the middle, so I'm going to slide this up through there. And then give myself enough to tie a pretty bow. So if you tie the ribbon round it, that will hold any heavier objects you've got inside. And there's your finished project. So it's just to show really that however easy the box, you can make it look stunning by, if you don't have your own pattern paper, you know, if you don't have pattern paper to match the actual colour of your cardstock, then make your own. Get a stamp set. It's good to have a stamp set that's got, you know, it's good to have a stamp set that's got flowers, small flowers as well, leaves, and words, so that you can use a bit of everything really. I was trying out samples yesterday, and see if I can find. Bet your life I'm not going to find it now, but so I did do samples and I found some. So obviously with this one here, I used the big flower, and the hello and the leaf. But I also tried out yesterday the palm trees, the pineapple and the hello, and different colour combinations. I used the flower. I also just wanted to show you, before I finish the video, just to show you a bit more how versatile. If I just take the pineapple, for instance, out of here. So a pineapple, you wouldn't necessarily have a green pineapple. So usually the pineapple bit is I don't know, greeny. No, it's not, is it, Jilly? It is orangey, yellowy colour, and then you've got the green leaf part at the top. So with Stampin' Up having marker pens that match all their inks, you can actually do, so if I bring in the garden green and say the yellow, so with your marker pen, with the brush end, not the thin end, and don't do it to the point because you'll damage the point. So if you do it on the side, if you just pick up the colour onto the ink, like onto the stamp, like so. If it was photopolymer stamps, then you would be able to just mask the top and stamp the bottom and then mask it, because you'd see where you were going. But with these stamps, you can't see. Once you turn them over, that's all you can see is so you don't know where you're exactly stamping. Whereas if you do it this way with your marker pens, so you just ink it up like that. Then when you've done it, I think they technically call it, I don't know how technical it is. So if by the time, if it was a bigger stamp and the green might have dried up a little bit, so you huff on it, so you go and it just makes the ink more moist again, and then stamp it down. And so there you've got the right colour bottom for the right colour top. You can also, and when you've cleaned it off, you can just go back in with the green again. And you think, well, I want it to be a bit more yellow than that. Try not to get ink around these edges here, because then you'll get the outline of these edges and not just the stamped ink bit. Then you can say, well, I want it to be more orange. So exactly the same. You don't get quite enough ink on there, but you see where I'm going with that. So when the marker pens are in the family of colours, then you can do any colour combination on one stamp that you want. So that's me today. Hope you like it. Again, I hope you make some, and if you do, send me some pictures, either on my Facebook page, Jilly's Creative Corner, or on my blog. You can do in the comments on my blog. But it'd be just great to interact with each other and share what we love, really. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.